Good. Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get our meeting started. So, I now call to order the meeting for the SOMERTON Parks and Recreation Commission at 6:04 p.m. on June 17th, 2020. If you'll join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, Commissioner Vasquez will lead us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll move to roll call.
Commission Chair Jesus Cervantes.
Present.
Commission Vice Chair Olegario Zazueta.
Present.
Commission Secretary and Historian.
Present.
Commission Member Juan Duran.
Present.
Commission Member Joanna Eso.
Present.
Commission Member Victor Calderon.
Present.
Commission Chair, we have a quorum.
We'll move on to call to the public. This is a time for the public to comment. Members of the Parks and Recreation Commission may not discuss items that are not specifically identified in the agenda, limited to directing staff to study the matter, responding to any criticism, or scheduling the matter for further consideration and decision later. Do we have any members of the public? And then I guess I should ask, Mr. Mesa, has any members of the public sent in any questions via email or other communication?
Basically, being concerns and just inquiries regarding updates for summer programs, events, and communicating the past few weeks of what's gonna be coming up for our department and our city, which is basically right now, so it's pretty much on hold for the moment, and other current events, which most of the community is on board and they agree with the stance from the city.
Okay. Then I have no physical members of the public for the call to the public section, so we'll move on. Going on to old business, recreation update.
Good evening, Commission. This is Martha, Parks and Recreation Director. I'm glad to be here tonight and provide some updates during this critical period. I mean, as we all know, it's been a complicated season, but I mean, the Parks and Rec Department is coming around little by little. We have a new recreation coordinator here next to me. His name is Gustavo Magru. I wanted him to be here tonight and just present himself and maybe say a few words to the commission.
Gustavo Magru, nice to meet you guys. I was raised here in Somerton and part of the Parks and Rec program for quite some years. Just excited to jump on board, and anything you guys need, you guys can find me at Parks and Rec.
Cool. Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a transition for us. I mean, for the past few weeks and months, but I mean, we're getting together and working as a team moving forward. The most relevant update right now is the 4th of July. We all know the festival itself is going to be canceled. It's canceled already, but we're going to continue moving forward with a creative celebration for the community. It's going to take place at Joe Munoz, the fireworks. Joe Munoz Park is going to be the site for it. The fireworks are scheduled for 9 p.m. and there's going to be a food drive, which involves watermelon, hot dogs, and a gift bag for the kids. The first 100 kids, and there's going to be watermelon for 500 vehicles. It's going to be a similar concept like the weed drive that happened a few weeks ago at the community center, which is a basically drop in and load and unload type of concept. So it's going to be starting at 5:30 at the cultural center. So the traffic's going to exit towards the right at Somerton Avenue, and it's going to start at 5:30, and we're thinking it's going to end at 7. So we give enough time for the PD and Public Works to set up, and our staff to get ready for the fireworks show. So it should be something fun for the community, and we've also been promoting a photo virtual 4th of July or freedom celebration picture contest for the families of Somerton. So it's also going to be taking place in the next few days and weeks. So if you can help us promote that, there's going to be some good prizes for the families involved. First place is going to be a grill, second place a pool, and a third place is going to be a good sized cooler for the families. And just so the commission is on board and updated on the maintenance side, all the retention areas are gonna be moved to the park side of things. It used to be split between us and Public Works, and starting July, we're gonna take over all the retention areas. Basically, we're gonna look into contractual labor to cover some of the areas as possible and as needed. And on recreation side, we're just looking into the activities and looking forward for confirmation and direction from the council to restart activities in the most likely towards the fall. That's about it. I have a lot of information, but those are the outstanding highlights right now. You want to keep hearing me all night? I keep talking for an hour, but
One question on so any kind of dates or has it come up or when would activities restart?
well, I will address that item during the meeting. But I mean, right now there's no confirmation yet. But I will provide further details after item number 1, if it's okay with the commission.
As far as public announcements for the watermelon drive and handout, when is that expected to go out or live?
Yeah, the date's gonna be the same day, July 4th. It's gonna be at 5:30 at the Cultural Center. That's the pickup site. And of course, we're gonna try to take our precautions and limit the contact between all the residents and staff. They're not gonna be allowed to get out of their vehicles, basically drive in, drive out, and the trunk, if possible, and get going. We're gonna try to make it as quick as possible. That's indication from PD and all the safety recommendations. So we're just trying to do something creative and do something for the community so they feel that they're being taken into consideration, and we're trying to do something for them so it's not a pale and sort of uncolored celebration. It's gonna be the whole watermelon. And we're looking for a truck right now, so it's gonna be cold and it's not gonna go bad. So we're looking at all the fine details behind that. And yeah, the event coordinator has done a good job working with all the departments and looking at the options. It's over there by the library, yeah.
Why not use the library? Isn't it a conjunction with the city, the parking lot? Like coming to the jail, something like
Yeah.
the Somerton Middle School did, get this one, then exit to the.
Yeah, that's the sort of the idea coming through the Jefferson and heading into the Cultural Center. It's basically a drive-in, so it's gonna be the same situation. They're gonna have to exit through Somerton Avenue going right and south. I mean, the location was chosen because it has a freezer, so we're able to load and unload some of the watermelon there. But I mean, we're gonna look into a bigger truck so that they're refrigerated and all that and cold.
Any additional comments from any other commissioners via Zoom or in person?
I already shared on Facebook. Nice flyer.
Hearing none then, we'll go ahead and move on to, new business. Item number 1, presentation of appreciation award to Mr. Ian McGee for his service and support, to the city of Somerton. And, I want to say that, your time with the city of Somerton and, the support that you did show the commission, was very, I guess, beyond, what we expected, as far as support coming from, the city manager, because in the past, well, I can't say in the past because I came in when you pretty much were at the reins already, but seeing the support that you provided the commission throughout your years of service here was outstanding. You were there as a leader, not only for the city of Somerton, but also in representing the commission in certain meetings and aspects as far as management, but personnel projects, and you were on top of all of our requests and any questions or concerns that we had. So I just want to say thank you for that, and I'm pretty sure the other commissioners shared that statement there.
Yes.
I'll open it up for the commission to also speak. I don't want to be the only one speaking.
What can I say? I mean, it was really mentioned, Cordero, thank you very much. I mean, the time you served for Somerton was very well. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, Ian, I'm gonna call you up for family literature night.
For your service and that care that you've always have demonstrated to all our, all our meetings and carried through. I mean, it's just, we so appreciate your leadership, and we will miss you. So, but bless you on your new journey, though.
Thank you.
Hey, Ian, I don't know if you hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna call you when we have family literacy night. I'm gonna call you over there at Yuma. You can still come.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it when you came over.
Thank you. Anytime.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thanks, Ian.
Just want to say during the last month, I would say 14, 15 months of being around, I see your involvement with Parks and Rec Commission and getting things smoother for everyone, running. I think we have made a lot of progress in, I would say, 2 years. And we're now moving in the right direction. I hope we're becoming a better commission now, and I guess you can help establish that vision. So thank you very much for your support, and good luck, council. And we are you decide to.
Thank you. Thank you.
And echoing what the commissioners have stated, thank you. And whoever fills in the new role of city manager for the city does have some big shoes to fill. And we hope that they provide the same level of support that you provided to the commission throughout these years. And with that being said, we do have a plaque of appreciation for you. Thank you.
Thank you. If I just may quickly, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, Secretary, members of the commission, both here and virtually, it's really been a pleasure. And anytime that I look good, it's because of the staff who's really, feet on the ground and behind the scenes that are doing the hard work. So I'm very grateful for this award. It's very much an honor and was completely unexpected. But thank you for your hard work and guidance. You have places you could be, you have families and jobs and obligations, but here you are, you're here, you're at the meeting virtually, and it's because of your dedication to this community and to the youth and the programs and the arts and everything that you help bring to this great community. So thank you so much for this recognition, but also thank you for the hard work that you do, and thank you to the staff. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you. What do you want to do?
Thank you very, very much.
You take like a white shot so we
Nice.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Ian.
We'll move on to item number 2 on the agenda. It's an update on summer 2020 activities and the reopening schedule. Mr. Mesa.
Good evening, Commission Chair, Vice Chair, members. As I mentioned earlier on my updates, SOMERTON Parks Recreation Director, we're heading in a transition process currently. I mentioned that the festival for the summer is canceled. We didn't want our celebration to be canceled because that's something that we take a lot of pride in. And we do like organizing a 4th of July event and have good plans already in line for it. But I mean, there's a bigger force and a bigger challenge up front that we need to take care of and take care of the community. So we had to cancel the festival side of it as directed by council on the last meeting or 2 meetings before. But we are moving forward with a creative celebration, as most of the towns and cities in Arizona are doing, with a celebration involving fireworks. We are integrating a virtual activity involving a 4th of July or Freedom theme photo. Of course, it has to be involving a proper or no, well, it has to be a family picture, of course, and not involving anything out of line. We're going through a very controversial times right now. We're trying to keep it as family friendly as possible. So we're going to have some rules and regulations involved. But it's something, it's a incentive for the community right now, basically everybody at home. And the prices are going to be in line with the celebrations, which is being called a backyard celebration. So they can grill with some nice pool for the kids so they can enjoy that day off, the kids that stay here in town, and the cooler for other beverages and hopefully enjoying of a nice cookout or grill with their families, of course. And as I mentioned, the activities, we haven't received concrete or definite direction from council. The item has been moved a few times because of the situation. Right now, we are working with council and city administration to get to a deadline right now, provide some updates right now to the public. But considering the peak season right now and of the situation, we haven't received a definite direction from council. I mean, we are considering all options and looking into a projected schedule, which right now it's only internal, it's not confirmed. And we have some activity scheduled for August. That's what we have scheduled. Some tournaments involving baseball, soccer, and softball. Weekend tournaments, just an open category, get something going and interest back in the activities. The weekend tournaments, 11, 12 category only, just to get something going. And that's, we're looking at that category because it's one of the more popular and there's a lot of competition basically in that on that category. And moving forward, I mean, we have some regular leagues for the fall as scheduled to start. Soccer is set to start first towards the end of August. Then the softball is scheduled to start in September, and the baseball also during September. And we have the flag football to start in October. We're, as I mentioned, it's a tentative schedule. We're hoping we're going to be able to move forward with it and start the registration process. And that's basically where we're at right now with the activities. I don't know if there's any questions or concerns or doubts or recommendations.
That's what I wanted to hear. Like,
have something going, even if we have to cancel, at least project something for the community for them to have an idea of what could be coming up. So that answers my question.
Yeah, and then just want to add that our new coordinator, Gustavo, and our recreation specialists are working on after-school activities. We did order a ping pong table, and we're going to try to build some 2 new ones also on the side. Try to get some quotes and be creative and try to squeeze our budget as much as possible because we're going to be shorthanded. They did cut 10% overall from our budget, so we're going to be a little bit more limited in funding, but we're looking for ways and means to promote our program. We are already looking at promotional items to start promoting our brand. We want to start creating a different image that the people see our department, not only recreation, but the whole department as more into the community, more involved. We're in there, we're trying to not create a name because there's already a name, but just kind of highlight the name a little bit more. Looking at promotion items like shirts, commemorative hats for Greater Day. So every year there's a different hat and shirt and maybe the banners on Main Street, and start doing some activities. So the design that wins those commemorative items are students. We get involved with the students. We want to start doing the standings on the leagues, start doing those positionings where it's an incentive for the kids. If you're in first place, lead off, you're the best hitter on the league. It makes you train a little bit harder. And we're gonna ask the commission for some guidance and some help on that, getting the clubs, the math clubs involved and all that. Yeah.
I just sparked an idea. So do we have some kind of billboard or poster or something that we can display on Main Street of those, winners, those community members to help motivate the program?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, what we have in mind is posting it on the newspaper and just posting it on the fields, and of course social media. Hey, this kid's the player of the week and player of the month, and start doing some of that.
I'm thinking like when we're
Main Street, like a little banner.
Like a banner or
yeah.
Something that we could have, billboard, something that we could utilize regularly.
Yeah, and our plan is to start doing the MVP, maybe the MVP, because that way it's one player, something like that. I mean, we're looking for ways to motivate the kids to come back to recreation a little bit more. We understand that the numbers have been low, the interest and the credibility, you might even say, of some of the programs is a little bit low, and just try to incentivize the community differently. And creating a more attractive brand and image of the whole division, it's going to help our cause. It's only 2 people, but as Gustavo mentioned, he's here from Somerton, and he loves Somerton. He grew up in the programs. He grew up in that gym where we're located right now, and he wants to better our costs. Yeah.
I'm sorry. So I think in including that promotion and branding, it's essential that we include actual stories from our community members. So the more we can display that, I think that's gonna give the messages that we want, of inclusion and motivation, because it's them looking up and saying, I so much enjoyed, this or that, and then it motivates other kids to get involved.
Yeah.
When they see their peers.
Yeah, and just an FYI, we are working on the first steps of a marketing club. We're trying to create some type of club. We don't have a name for it, but we were thinking about Somerton Community Involvement Group or Club, something like that, which involves a group of kids that helps promote the activities.
That's awesome.
The events. We're hopefully get a reporter there that goes to the games, to the events.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And start training those kids to be involved, and then hopefully create a good program for the community.
Yes.
All around. It doesn't have to be only events, only activities. It can be involved in projects and stuff like that. And then that's
and community service.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Awesome.
to promote volunteerism and all that, because we are lacking a lot of help, and if we can get some help from the peers,
Mhm.
the kids listen more to their peers than
Mhm.
to grown-ups most of the time. So if they're out there on the social media promoting the activities and informing the community who's the best hitter in the baseball league and the softball league, or the best player on their flag football league, it's gonna create more interest and a little bit of a flow. So I'll channel some ideas we have for the club. If you guys like the name, and start creating a concept for it, and all the different mechanics of it. We have to create a real club that has some objectives, that has a mission and all that, and start getting some promotion going pretty soon, hopefully, when we're able to have some kind of contact. But those are the plans right now. I don't know if you have any questions for the department, recreation.
The idea is really good because of the fact that volunteer brings more resources in matters of, accomplishing things. Last year, when we had this group of young adolescents, helping in activities and things like that, that was really good. I mean, when we were painting helping passing the brushes and helping us check and everything. So there is lots of room for having something like this here in the city. It's just a matter of, getting the things together, the resources, and involving I was thinking also the possibility of having like a newsletter, produced by this group, in which it can be accessible via Facebook or, under the city or under Parks and Rec, something that they can actually write and promote, different accomplishments from different players and so forth. And I know there's a lot of students who like to write and take pictures and things like that, so that will be a good way to get them, into this kind of activities. I don't know what's going to happen to, in our middle school. We're going actually on site or, or virtual. It seems like right now we're going virtual because the numbers are not going down, they're going up and up and up and up. But that will be a good idea to start promoting, those. What ages do you think will be?
We're thinking 13 to 17, middle school and high school.
Middle school, high school.
And it could be some job training for them too, because they would be involved in different kinds of projects, so some job training and career. Yeah, because we are willing to buy some equipment for them, like camera, a mic, for them to do the interviews and whatever we can. Start to motivate the kids and give them their uniforms, so they're part of the club and they earn their stripes after a while. And
probationary.
Imagine their own little studio there for interviews.
And we might be able to bring back Ian. He could train him. He's pretty good at that. And we could beat off all your different backgrounds. You guys all have a platform from your particular backgrounds that we could get some help, especially for like the clubs, all the math clubs, and for example, all the marketing stuff. The commission itself can help put together this club or program, and it's going to be something that's going to be a joint effort between the commission, department, and the community, and hand to hand. There's no club like this that I know of right now from the city, and it would be a first. So we can start with 2 or 3 kids. It doesn't have to be many, and as long as we have a few, like the commission, and at least 6 or 7 that are stable, we could do a lot of things.
Yes.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure the city council is going to be happy with that idea and support that type of program. And Gustavo and Oscar are willing to help and train them and monitor and support, of course, that type of club. For the fields, we have some ideas that I would like to mention to the commission briefly. We're working on remodeling the community center, the gym, a minor remodeling project which will involve, if approved, repainting the walls. You know how those curtains are inside the gym? They don't look very good. They're old, they're dirty, and it doesn't create a good aspect for the community or for the whole facility or park. So those beneath or behind those curtains, it's drywall. It's already ready to paint. So we could put some of that on top of those walls. It's already ready to be installed, some drywall and painting. It's going to look a lot nicer for the events, and just take care of those walls. And we would paint the metal sheets and then all the way up where the curtains are at, and replace the pads on the walls for the basketball. They're old and there's some safety concerns there because there's some plywood on the bottom and on top. So repad the whole thing and restripe the court. That's the plan. And it's not gonna make all the difference in the world, but it's gonna make a huge difference for the people that use that gym. And even though it doesn't have an AC, it has a lot of activity. But we plan on doing after-school activities. Like I mentioned, we bought a ping pong table. We're hoping to get more in the future and start doing some after-school activities like ping pong, kickball, and dodgeball, which are fun-like activities and for free. And so hopefully later we can start doing some smaller tournaments to create some interest. And we see enough interest, it could turn into a league for the future. And just get the kids to the gym, active and involved. And maybe out of those kids, we can get some kids for the club. So, and if they see a nicer gym, they're gonna want to come back, and the kids will be there. And we're looking at another veterans league for basketball, an independent league, trying to work together with community leaders, get a 35 and up league going for basketball, and an open gym for volleyball, the different days. And start doing some co-ed volleyball tournaments later. Just tournaments because we don't have a budget for a league right now, but get the interest first, and we're doing tournaments. And for basketball, we might be up to a league if we are able to confirm a league coordinator, which would be a independent league. That way, the city would only have to work with that particular league and reserve the gym, basically. Let them use the gym if possible. Get a formal activity, involve the parents of the kids. That way we'll bring them to the park. They're going to be already around and get more interest in the recreation side. Because when the people are able to be back to action, they're going to want activities. All the people are stressed up, especially the parents that have all the pressure, bring a meal. Some people are off work, and recreation is going to help physically and mentally all the grown-ups. So, and it would be a first. There's no 35 and up league here in some. And my coworker here, Gustavo, has a lot of experience in basketball. He played basketball at a very good level and been in all-star teams and represented Somerton very successfully, not only here in Mexico. He was part of the Selección Sonora for a while for basketball and played baseball at high school level and all that. So he's an athlete, and he knows the sports and knows the community. So that's something that I like, and I see it as an asset for the department moving forward. I don't know, any other questions? You can tell I'm a little bit excited, but it's because I like recreation too. I'm starting to get back into that groove and hopefully get something going. I started in this whole business or sector because of recreation, so hopefully get something going when we're able to do it. So, any other questions and comments?
Jesus, I typed in a question. I don't know if I heard it before. There's going to be an AC system installed.
Can you repeat that again? It was kind of.
AC system going to be installed in the gym.
Oh. No, it's only a rumor.
Wishful rumor.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be in the package basically for renovating the whole center when the high school project is confirmed. The part of the funding is going to go towards the community center that's planned, the AC unit, and some bigger renovations or upgrades, and Joe Munoz. But right now, it's basically on hold. It's probably not going to move forward for voting this year, of course, and so it's probably going to be scoot over for next year.
Any additional feedback, questions, or input on item number 2? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to item number 3, update on possibility of naming city pathways to further promote amenities. Mr. Nissa.
Yeah, good evening, Commission. Just following up on this inquiry from the Commission, I spoke to the city departments, the various departments involving public works, community development, and administration. This particular item was included on the master plan, on the last master plan, which was in 2010. There is already names for the pathways, which is basically involving the area they're close to, being the agricultural area and those type of sites. So they're already in the books and confirmed. I mentioned that was an interest from the Commission, that it would be an incentive for the community naming, involving some type of symbolic name or movement or something important for the community. And they mentioned that it was already a done deal. No signs are available, so I mentioned that the community might be interested in seeing some type of signage or official naming. So that's something that Public Works is currently working at. That's a project they have for next fiscal year. So that's,
yeah. Were chosen in 2010 by city council back then? Or?
Yeah, it was involved with the city council, the master plan assembled back then, and it's going to be updated hopefully this year. It needs to be updated, but it was already included on the past master plan, general master plan. Yeah.
Just like curiosity.
Yeah.
What kind of names, officers, soldiers?
They chose to be relevant to the area where they're next to, basically. The name of that particular area or zoning name is basically what I got from Public Works and Community Development. So it's basically based on the zoning of the site.
Like the one with the Casa de Flores, like that's a good I think that's more like East. Yeah, East Buckingham. Something like that.
Yeah.
Or harvesting.
Yeah. Related to that particular zone.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm up forward. Yeah, go ahead.
I need that information for us. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And I'll forward the links. They highlighted some areas of the master plan, which includes that information and specific. So we know the names, and I'm gonna follow up, see if we could do some signage in with my coworker and get some type of signage there and more promotion. We are working on a video to promote distance type of social distancing type of activities involving biking and all that on the walking paths. And I'll invite commission members and council members who want to be in the video if possible. Just do some type of promotion at the walking path.
Yeah, definitely will be a good, it's needed because I do a lot of walking in that area. And, people take it seriously, and some people they don't take it.
Yeah.
So, I noticed, you have actually like hide it. This way or go this way, something like this. The proximity.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the maintenance side of it is gonna improve, because, Public Works is gonna concentrate on the pathways, and we're gonna concentrate on the retentions. So the level of service should improve, in the upcoming months, and you should see some type of improvement. We're already catching up on the maintenance side also, so, right now taking advantage of the situation. There's no activity, so we're doing some work in the fields, and they're gonna level Council Park now, parks through the upcoming, weeks. So it's a little bit in better shape for the soccer season. So that's, also something important to mention. I don't know if there's any other questions, but I'll forward the information so that the commission has specifics, and you guys, are able to, have the names and all that.
Yeah, building off of that same item, I think it would benefit not only the commission, but also the community as a whole, to have a map of all the walking paths with the names on them.
Yeah.
At this point, I mean, it's obvious where a walking path is, because you have the lights and benches and trash cans, of course. But let's say you're not from the area, you just moved here, and you're looking for a place to go walk, run, ride your bikes. They are multi-use paths. You don't know. You have to guess, or it's word of mouth. So I think something that highlights the actual paths within a community would be beneficial as a whole. And that may be a way to launch the or identification of those path lanes. And I think going forward, as new paths come online, I think the commission as a whole will probably end up taking more of an active role in it as well, just to kind of assist in naming of those paths, just to keep it consistent and truly highlight an item within the community as far as the path. So it's not just a generic name that's out there, like Somerton Canal Path or Las Estrellas Path or whatever it may be, just so it brings value back to that path. Kind of going back to building that image of the Parks and Recreation and city image. So that's my input based on the subject at hand right now, just to kind of highlight the paths more and get it out there.
Sure. But yeah, but that's something that we do have on the list already, and it's been requested to graphic design, start working on the video and get something going. And I'll forward the details. Hopefully we can confirm a representative of the commission or work on the scheduling, and it's something basic, and go to one of the more popular pathways and take some footage and make a nice video. I know right now we don't want to promote people exercise together, but it's social type distancing activity where people can be exercising safely, or as safe as possible right now. And so I'll forward further details as we go.
Are there any other questions or concerns from any of the other commission members?
No, I was just gonna say that a good video would be over here behind my house, Casa de Gloria. You can't find parking. It gets packed. Some people wear masks, some people don't. But I mean, it's good to see people out there exercising, but unfortunately not everybody's using masks and respecting social distancing, especially the runners.
Yeah, especially the runners. Yeah, so and that's something that we could take into account for the video. Have some type of wording there, and the graphics, of course, of the footage, and promotes safe exercising and all that.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and any other comments or input for the pathways?
Suggest things fires or something like that.
Yeah.
And even feels like my shoulder.
Oh, wow.
Like this. Like 3 or 4 together, they don't move to the side. Like, I was telling my family that there's one behind me, and even my dog, I try to keep it on between me and my wife, and other people, they just so we now kind of moving towards you, the bigger over there, because it's kind of, I mean, in my case, I have to take care of my family. Diabetes and overweight and all those things, I have to take into consideration. So
Yeah.
we need to encourage our people, you know, I totally agree with Mayor saying they help us, you know, by doing your own part. So probably when we're promoting parks and recs, we can help us like.
Yeah, and that policy was approved, or active as of yesterday for all city employees that we had to wear a mask, during work, and it's a policy now, so all employees have to do it right now.
Overall, it sounds like we're off to a good start as far as the paths, because I think in the past we brought it up where, some of our paths have kind of fallen in disarray. I know that for the East Path or the Somerton Canal Path, the Casa de Gloria Path, the path of many names, at one point had weeds that were as high as a person, that weren't trimmed down. And the other concern that's been brought up a few times is some of the landscaping. I mean, the plants die, it's a given, but I think more could be done as far as the initial design as to what type of plants are used for the landscaping. Because some of those, for sure, are not what you would call water-wise plants.
Yeah.
They're going to die and shrivel up for summer. They're there. So that's one thing that eventually I think we should look at down the road, maybe next year or something like that, when time allows. Because we want to highlight the paths within the city. It should be one of the, I guess you could call them the crown jewels for the Parks and Rec program, aside from our flagship parks. Because that is one main activity that anyone can do, whether you're walking out for a stroll, biking, or just getting some fresh air. And we want to keep that level of beauty within those paths so that people can enjoy it, so that you're not walking through a jungle of weeds or through a graveyard of plants that are there. So that's one thing that should also be considered down the road. And hopefully Public Works will be on top of it going forward, just to make sure that we do keep that level of service appropriate for our walking paths throughout the city. Now, in the past, those have been concerns that have been brought up by citizens, just the maintenance and look of those paths.
Yeah, that should improve with this exchange of areas. Now they're just going to focus on the pathways and Main Street. Also, Parks was taking care of Main Street, so they're going to be it's going to be part of their duties. And now it's going to be all of the retention.
There's any final comments, questions, or concerns for this item? Okay, seeing none, thank you, Mr. Mitchell. That concludes all the new business on our agenda. Moving on, we'll move on to current events updates and recommendations for agenda items for the next meeting by Commission Chairman, Commission members, and or Parks and Recreation staff and director. So we'll start off with Commissioner Israel.
No, at this time, I'm really pleased with the safety concerns, how they're going to be addressed, especially for the walkways, and I think that's necessary, just like our fellow commissioner was sharing his experience with his family. People need to be educated on social distancing, and if they're not going to be social distancing, they need to at least wear a mask but you have to social distance, and I think we need to promote that in any way we can. As it's education for our community. So I'm just really pleased with bringing that to the forefront, and that we're able to do something to help our community, be more educated and support each other on this, because if we don't support each other, we're gonna be more sick, so, we have to.
Vice Chair Siswata? Commissioner Duran?
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Commissioner Calderon?
No events, but just to go off of that, Mayor Anaya tells me that the mask requirement, they're looking to put that in place for tomorrow. So tell your friends, tell your family, especially those who haven't been wearing masks, that they really need to do so when they're out in Somerton. That's it.
For me, thank you for the heads up. And then for me, as far as a new agenda item, probably have an item discussing the air quality flags. We've seen them kind of fall in disarray, especially the one at Joe Munoz. It looks like a ghost of itself. It's turned from green to white. So just an update on that. And then since our next meeting will technically be at the start of the new city fiscal year, probably add maybe a financial report to start off the year with to see how much we have for our upcoming year. Aside from that, I have no other items for the agenda. And then moving on to Commissioner Vasquez.
In matters of the Joe Munoz, sometimes since I live across the street right here, I myself tried to put the flag out because the kids actually break it down. And I would like to volunteer for that post. Notice that this week and last week they were burning actually grass. I mean, it was, what is it, a week? Yeah. And we were outside and suddenly around 10 in the morning last week, gosh, it was foggy. I mean, the smoke came to this and the flag was green. So things like that, I don't mind. I mean, if I can take care of that, making sure that it stays where it's supposed to stay. And that will be another reason for me to actually do a little bit of exercise, walk around and check it. But yeah, you brought a good point. Is we need to start, monitoring our flag a little bit more often. But I don't have anything else to just keep the safe distance. And I would like to say thank you for actually the picture you put of the commissioners. In the last meeting, you were saying that even the commissioners are actually keeping the safe distance, and that sends a message to also whoever sees our page that we care. And we're trying to do whatever we can to stay safe, and help our community.
Then finishing up with Mr. Mesa.
I would like to provide an update, hopefully, for next meeting, the activities and all the direction that the department's going to take in terms of programs. Hopefully, by next meeting, we're going to have further details on that. So, just a recreational update.
Real quick, I did forget one last item during my turn. Also, probably a discussion regarding our Yard of the Month program. I know our Yard of the Month program has been active for, I believe, just over a year now. We haven't had any activity occur aside from the fines collecting dust and storage. But I want to open that discussion back up and see what can be done as far as maybe promoting it a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe one of each can take one home and promote it that way. So they can.
And with that being said, that covers all the items in our agenda. I'll go ahead and move forward and adjourn our meeting at 6:59 p.m. Thank you, everybody, for attending.
Thank you. All right, see you guys.
All right. Stay healthy.